Varsha is 13 years old and is a 7th grader who lives in Seattle, Washington. She is a fan of the Seattle Seahawks. Please welcome Varsha.
Take it there.
Watch the cable.
That's it. Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Enough juice. Okay.
There's a okay behind you.
It fell off on the floor.
Sorry.
Thank you very much for your wonderful speech and your very nice introduction.
Can you see her?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There's no way you can increase the volume, right?
We can try.
It'll be right on the headset, the plus side.
Yeah, plus sign. Okay. Try. Give it a sound test.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. My name is Varsha Bharath, and today I'll be speaking about the pressures of school life. I will be addressing 3 points on the pressures of school life. Firstly, I will explain middle and high school through a student's perspective for everybody in the room. It's been a long time since many of the adults were in middle or high school, so a simulation and an overview will make the process go easier. Secondly, I will explain how ethnicity can affect the pressures of school life. And lastly, I will explain how outside life affects his school life. First, to break the ice a little bit, how is the weather in Boston?
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
Cool.
So, to many parents, school is where you drop your kids for 6 hours of learning. But it's impossible to describe school without actually taking you there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I want everybody to enter a blank state of mind. Right now you're going to enter high school. It's your freshman year, which means it's your first year. You're completely new and you move to school. You either have some friends or absolutely none. Well, as you look around the school and as you look around the halls, you think that it won't be so bad. You think you're going to get to stick math, stick reading, and a little bit more homework. But that's where you're wrong. You used to be the fastest person in the class, and now you're not. You used to be the smartest person in the school, and now you're not. People smarter, faster, stronger, and more athletic swarm around you, and you're left to fend for yourself. Let's skip ahead a month or so. This is when homework completely annihilates you. You have homework from 6 classes now, and which means that you have to do homework from all 6 classes and put them in on the correct due dates, study for the test, and all sorts of other things. And in addition to all of this, you have so much extracurricular activities. For example, I play the violin, and other people play soccer, and some people play other sports, play other instruments. They have to play as well. So you might think this is not so bad. And I definitely agree. This is just a bit for everybody. But everybody has. And then for some people, their stress gets higher and their stress gets lower. But everybody's stuck because this is what everybody has to do. Go to school.
Maybe we should have her start again, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, one side.
Yeah, exactly. Because next time.
You try to use that Bluetooth thing that is slightly better. Varsha, I don't know what happened, okay?
You lost her already.
Or we can just have a talk on the phone.
Yeah, just audio may work better.
Yeah.
Hit it again. Talk to her and when she starts, mute.
Hi, Varsha, I'm going to mute ourselves. You might have to start again, okay?
Okay,
Sorry about that.
that's okay.
That's what I mean.
Varsha, it may be good to only put audio. If you instead of video, if you put audio, it will not.
No, he muted the mic. He should
Yeah,
be
mic
okay.
with that.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you.
Sophie.
Hello, my name is Varsha Bharath, and today I'll be speaking about the pressures of school life. I will be addressing 3 points about the pressures of school life. Firstly, I'll explain middle and high school through a student's perspective. It's been a long time since many of the adults in the room have been in school, so an overview might help the process go a little bit easier. Secondly, I'll explain how ethnicity can factor in the pressures of school life. And lastly, I'll explain how outside life can affect the school life. To many parents, school is where you drop your kids for 6 hours of learning. But it's impossible to actually describe school without fully taking you there. And that's what I'm going to try to do today. So everybody, you're going to enter high school right now, or middle school. It's basically the same. It's your first year, your freshman year. You're completely new, and you come from a previous school. And as you look around the halls, you kind of think that you're going to do okay. Because it's not kindergarten where you have no experience of school. You have the experience, so you think, okay, whatever, it's just school, same 6 classes, blah, 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 let's get on with this. This is your number one mistake. You find out that you are not the fastest runner in the gym anymore. You're not the smartest kid in the class anymore. People faster, smarter, stronger, and more athletic come and they swarm around you. And you're left to fend for yourself. Let's skip ahead a month or so. This is when you know your teachers know your name, and the initial shock of a new school has worn out. Right now, this is when you've taken a few tests, but this is the point where the homework completely hits you. Now you have homework from 6 classes, and all 6 classes require you to turn them in on time. Otherwise, you don't get an A, and now it's really important to get A's so you can get into a good college later. So you're completely left to prioritize. Do I finish a language arts essay, or do I finish 5 pages of my math homework? And in addition to all of this, a lot of people have extracurricular activities. For example, I play the violin, I go to a youth symphony orchestra, and I have private lessons. So 2 of my days already are cut short because of this. And then half the time I have to practice for an upcoming audition, upcoming seating, and that takes away time from homework as well. Other people play sports, and they have sports lessons or sports practice, and other people, maybe they don't have anything, and maybe they have the time. You might be thinking that this is not so bad, and I definitely agree with you. This is just the baseline of every student. Since every student goes to school, every student will get homework, therefore we're all at the same level now. But the problem is there's so many other things that can affect those pressures of school life. Like transitioning into my next point, ethnicity. Ethnicity is something that everybody has. Everybody comes from a different racial background, different ancestry, different countries. I, for example, was born in America. I was raised in America, everything American. But one thing is, my parents were born in India, which means I come from an Indian descent. Being Indian descent, it's affected me in the ways I learn, the ways my parents teach me, and other different things in my academic life. But it also affects my social life. In many ways, I see that it's changed from what other people have. For example, one time my friends come into the hall and they say that they didn't do well on a test. I can't really fix that, but I calm them down and I tell them to do better. But they look at me as if I was crazy and reply, "Are you kidding? My parents are Asian. They yell at me even if I get an A-." And this has definitely affected me as well. For example, there was one time I came home with a test. It said 98% on it, which is an A. In my school, 93 and above is an A. So I come home and I give the test to my mom, and I say, "Mom, I got 98 out of 100, an A." And she looks at the test, she's like, "Varsha, why did you miss those 2 points?" And I'll say, "Mom, I really didn't know. I guess I did it wrong. Maybe I didn't do it. But look at all the ones I did correctly." And she's like, "Varsha, you need to go and study those 2 points." I'll be like, "Mom, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to be on the next test. I'm never going to even use this in life. Look at how the teacher wrote an A in big purple pen. And my mom said, no, Varsha, I want you to go study for it for the next test. I don't care if it's not on the next test. I want you to go study for it because this is what you're going to use to get into college. And if you don't know this, you will live a very bad life. Well, Mom, this is not true. But definitely some aspects of it is correct. I do need to know a lot of skills to get into college. Definitely correct. But being Indian, there's many other things that affect me. For example, a teacher once assumed that I spoke English as a second language and was very astonished when I got an A on a language arts test. I was pretty offended because I speak English as a first language, and even my parents, who were born in India, they also speak English as a first language. And so I was really offended to hear that I was being judged by my ethnicity. Coming from a different ethnicity, common stereotypes are used on me, and that's not very fair. My third point today will be how an outside life affects the school life. And you might be thinking, well, isn't this about the pressures of school life? And I say, yeah, it is. But let's say, use an example for a minute. If my pet died today, right now, and I have to go to school tomorrow, I won't even go to school tomorrow. But if for some reason I have to go to school tomorrow, I will not really do well. I won't be paying attention to my classes. I won't be playing my violin in orchestra properly. And I probably won't be in the state of mind to memorize a quadratic formula. So this is an example about how a home situation can affect my school situation. And the same goes for anything else and vice versa. I'm going to tell you a story about one of my friends. To set the setting a little bit, some of my friends have little sisters, and some of us have little brothers. I, for example, have a little brother. And having a little brother, I end up stepping on his Legos every single day and trying to tune out his Pokemon Ninjago while I'm doing my math homework. But my friends with little sisters, they are endlessly watching My Little Pony and stepping on Barbie doll shoes. For a while, we started listening to the little sister group, as I'm going to call them. They became the center of attention. One of our friends, whom we knew had a little brother, she comes in one day with stories about a little sister. We just assumed that she had a little sister. As time went on and more stories were told, we entered a bump in the road. We called her mom to invite her to a birthday party and ended up talking about her little sister. Her mom tells us she doesn't have a little sister. I don't know what she's been telling you guys, but she really doesn't have a little sister. So we realized that we've been lied to because she wanted to be part of this group that always gets to talk. We confront her about this and she says, yeah, she ends up crying and she ends up just in a big mess. And this is a perfect example of the stress got to her. The reason why I'm telling you the story about my friend was because she had many people, the stress got to her because nobody wants to be overlooked. Everybody wants to stand their ground and make a mark on other people. Nobody wants to be the kid over there. Everybody wants them to know their name, their family, and everything like that. In this speech, I talked about the pressures of school life. I started with a simulation of middle and high school in a student's perspective. Secondly, I explained how ethnicity can affect those pressures of school life. And lastly, I explained how outside life can affect school life with an anecdote about one of my friends. For me, the best way to cope with the pressures of school life is come home to a place where I'm not judged by my ethnicity. It's not middle or high school, it's home. And where my outside life is here, and I don't need to lie about what I don't need to lie about what I'm doing over the weekend. I like to just put on some fuzzy slippers, eat too much ice cream, and almost feel the stress melting away. Thank you very much for listening.